Swag. I am neither Saya nor Swag, but this is our monthly takeover. It's perfect because she's out of town. So welcome everyone who's joining us. Hey Jackie, happy Friday to you. Hi Rhonda. Jane, Natalie's in her car. Hi Brenda, hi Amber. I met Amber in California. Awesome, we have lots of people coming on here. Hey Margaret. Jasmine, great. I hope you guys are excited to make these packing pods today. If you're new to this to me being on this channel, I am Kasaya's sister. My name is Susan, and about a year ago, we all realized that I have all of her logins because I help her with her business, and she was out of town. And I said, hey, we should take over her channel, and we did. That was last May, so it's almost been a year of doing this. She is out of town again. I still have her logins, and so we're gonna take over her channel today. And I am not necessarily super professional. I kind of figure things out with you guys. And so I really, yeah, we hijack her channel and do whatever we want. I really love it when you guys are like, hey, don't attach that, it's backwards. I'm like, oops. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of like a group project. So you're in it to win it with me, whether you like it or not. I actually did practice this one first. It's a miracle. I always intend to, and I never do. So I made it once last night. Actually kind of cool because I'm realizing that all these skills that we're learning. Oh, am I dark? Someone's saying it went dark. I don't know. All these skills that I'm learning on these other bags, I realize just completely carry over to this. So there were some methods on here that a year ago I would have said, I don't even know what that means. So there are 3 sizes. We're making the Spencer Ogg packing pods. Here, I think I have the pattern here. I saw these and I was eyeing them because look, they're 3 little containers, and you can, it depends what you make them out of. You can make them out of anything. You can make them out of cotton if you want. I'm doing canvas today. You could do vinyl. Anyway, so there's 3 sizes. And so I thought we would have a little fun experiment. Number 1, making these bags and learning how to make these bags. But number 2, I've had a lot of people ask me how I like my industrial compared to the Juki. Because you guys saw, you've been on this experience with me, and I got the Juki probably a year ago and was super excited. And it upped my game because I had been using a different machine before. And then Kasaya was sick of me having issues. And I swear, wait, I'm just so sorry. It's allergy season here. There's like literally cotton flying through the air. So then she got me a King Max Industrial, and I had a lot of people ask me how I like them. And thank you. The truth is, I haven't even touched the Juki since I got the Industrial, which is silly, I know. So I'm going to sew one on the Juki. It's a TL 2010Q. And then we will move over to the King Max and sew the other one on the King Max. So we'll do, I did the small baby size yesterday, and today we'll do the medium on the Juki. His name is Mr. Jingles, if you want to, you know, if you want to know. And then we'll move over to Slim Shady, who is my King Max, and we will sew the large size on the King Max, and we'll kind of compare. So it's canvas that I'm using today, and so I really think that both machines are going to be great on it. So it'll be interesting to see how it feels and if I have to make any accommodations for either machine. So this packing pod, let's talk about it. It has a zipper gusset. I still think gusset is a made up and hilarious word, but it is a zipper gusset, and it just has this little part that connects the 2 zipper parts. The pattern itself calls for you to make the handle out of whatever material you're using, but I couldn't be bothered, so I just did webbing. So you could do that. It is, I want to say it's water resistant canvas. Let me see. I think it's water resistant canvas. Someone's at my door. I'm just going to ignore them. If they walk in, then they know me well enough to walk in. If they don't, then whatever. It only uses 1 zipper pull. That's the only hardware you have to use for this bag. It zips all the way around, so it opens up, and there's these little pods that you put into them. Now, I did the binding way. She puts in the pattern another way. If you don't want to bind, then she actually has you fold the seams down flat, put your machine in there, and do a zigzag stitch. So I actually thought maybe we could try one. I don't have a zigzag, but we could just do like 2 straight lines. So maybe we'll do the medium size that way and then bind the large size or something. Since I've already bound one, let's just try the other method. She also has a way for people who really want those corners to be incredible. When you do this part, you cut this and you do like a mitered corner before you sew it down. So there's like different options for whatever you're comfortable with. And this is the baby. The baby size. Maybe you could pack all your socks in here or something. They're meant to be put in your suitcase to pack all your things. I am in love with stuff like that. Notebook covers, packing pods, messenger bags. That's my jam. And Spencer Ogg actually has another pattern for a, what's that called? Composition notebook. I saw it last night. I was like, ooh. So I think I'll do one of those one time too. So anyways, if you haven't already got it, once again, I'm making the Spencer Ogg packing pods, and it comes in all 3 sizes. Okay. I wondered, Mindy, that's actually a really good idea. If I put 2 pulls on the large one, that's actually a really good idea. I'll have to run upstairs and grab extra pulls. But let's do that. Let's put 2 pulls on the large one. So what do we have for our pieces? Let's talk about our pieces and then we'll get going. So there's the baby. We're gonna say goodbye to the baby. Bye, baby. We have webbing. Like I said, I'm using webbing instead of making a handle out of the canvas because it just sounded easier. Is that lame? I don't know. We have zipper tape. I've already put some double-sided tape on it. We have 2 pieces for the zipper gusset. And I could have done it all one color. You don't have to do 2 different colors. I just didn't have enough fabric to do all 3 sizes out of one or the other. So I just mixed and matched. So how about that? Oh, and I'm so sorry. I'm really terrible at reading comments. Oh, Jane has this pattern. Okay, and then we have these 2 little pieces which attach the zipper gusset all the way around, makes it a full circle. And then this is the front and back panel. And on the front and back panel, I've done 2 things already. I have, not lame, using leftover webbing pieces sounds awesome. Yeah, exactly, right? Because it's so easy. How can I follow you on Instagram? So I don't have it. I'm just an imposter. But my sister has Saya Swag Instagram. And I think it's called Saya Swag or Saya Swag Bags. I should know this, Linda. I don't. But if you look it up, Saya Swag. Okay, so I have cut the centers of the tops and sides, or top, bottom, and both sides. And on the back of this front and back panel, you're gonna notice I have little markings here. And that has to do with how we're gonna attach it. And it's very similar to what she just taught me. We just did a sew along on Patreon, learning how to sew the oxbow. And Kasaya taught me this method of cutting and folding. And then when I did this one, I'm like, oh, I just learned that. So that's what those markings are for. So, should we get going? Let's do it. Okay. I'm going to see if I can adjust all this so that you can see really well. I might have to turn this light off, huh? Yeah, my light, we determined that it might be my camera. I have an older phone. I sacrificed our phone trade-in credits to my daughter and my husband. It was like, who has the worst phone? You get the upgrade. So now I'm officially the person with the oldest phone in the house, but it's okay. How's that? Probably seen too much of me, right? Oh, thanks, Jackie. I can't figure out what to do with my hair anymore. I think I really do just need to chop it off. It's getting thinner too. And I have a concert tomorrow and Kasaya's not going to be here to curl it. And I can't decide how to do it because all the old people love it when I keep my hair down. They say they watch my hair move around while I conduct. I'm going to move this just a little bit more. All right. Hopefully that view's okay. Oh, Amber, thank you. I can't take credit, you guys. You know, I do all my learning with Kasaya and usually on a live video. So you guys have seen the whole process. I haven't done tons of sewing outside of videos. And so it's been interesting. Okay, So this does have a right side and a wrong side, kind of. One side's shinier. I suppose it's not a big deal. The zipper is longer than the gusset pieces, and I can't decide if she just has it that way to give you extra to put pulls on, or if I just cut it wrong. But it doesn't matter, because I will just trim down the zipper when I'm done. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to make the, Smiley Jan, hi! We're going to be making the zipper gusset. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna base this, but I'm gonna tape it so it's just, you know, so beautiful and perfect. I'm going to put right sides together, the zipper tape, and I'm starting with the smaller of my two gusset pieces, although I can't imagine it matters which one you do first. Do you know what I'm realizing? I can't see. It's because my glasses are on top of my head. Oh my gosh, that's better. So much better. All right. I'm sorry, you guys are gonna have to help me answer each other's questions. I really am. I have to really concentrate to do this, and so looking up, I forget to look up at your comments. Oh, hi from Mississippi. Okay, so once you get this kind of, you can clip it or tape it, then you are going to baste it. I'm gonna baste it at 1/8 of an inch onto the zipper. Here we go. Mr. Jingles is back in action. He was getting his feelings hurt that I was never using him. Weren't you, Mr. Jingly? He says yes. You know what? I might be doing the wrong thing. I might need to be 1/4 of an inch. I'm sorry. How embarrassing. This is how I read. Yeah, that was so silly of me. It's supposed to be 1/4 of an inch. I promise I've done this once before, but here we go. Let's try this again. We're gonna do 1/4 of an inch, and we're gonna sew this on. I said basting, but really I need to sew it. That's where I was off. So I'm gonna give a little back stitch here, and once I feel like it's good, I'm gonna go a little faster. You could put your zipper pull on first, but I'm going to put mine on after I do the gusset part, I hope. Unless I forget. That'll be a big joke, won't it? Okay. Oh, did I miss? No, I didn't miss. Okay, so I've got that sewn on here, and then now I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to top stitch this baby. Come here, baby. Where's your fabric from? I got this fabric from Wonderground when I was there in California. Confession, I snuck back to the back part with Lily, and it was in a scrap box. I found a big chunk of it in a scrap box, and I said, can I buy this? I found a scrap and I want it. So the purple is from Saya's Closet, which is my favorite store, I will admit. It's her fault though. She got me into this, right guys? Yeah. Whose birthday is it? Oh, Molly. I don't have my instrument here with me. Oh, you got discharged from the hospital. Happy birthday to you. I'm glad you're feeling better. I wish I had my instrument. And I don't know what rhymes with that. Okay. I hope you have a great birthday, and I'm super glad you're out of the hospital. Being in the hospital on your birthday is not happy. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday, happy birthday. That's the Stevie Wonder version. To ya. Happy birthday. Or there's this one. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. I don't remember where that one comes from. Dum, 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 dum. I'm just trying to pull my purple fabric down so it doesn't pucker weird. You know what I mean? Wow, that's really nice. I wondered if I would feel a difference in sewing thinner fabrics on this machine versus the industrial. I have to say, it's really nice on this one. There we go. Boom, baby. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. You're gonna notice that I have zipper overhang here, but I'll just trim it in a minute. It's fine. Who do we got? Hi, Angela. Oh, where are you doing the meetup in Ohio? We should talk about that. We're going to meet up at Carla Boomshire's studio. It's in Springfield, Ohio. I need to make up a thing and I'll put it online. It's Monday, June 3rd. Whatever the Monday of June 3rd or 4th or 2nd, whatever that is, the first Monday in June. We're going to be at her studio for 3 hours just hanging out. For anyone on that side of the world that wants to come and hang out with us. It's going to be fun. Okay, so now I'm just going to do my best to kind of start it in the same place as this other one. Since my zipper's long, I'm not necessarily going to line it up with the end of the zipper. I'm going to line it up with the end of my other purple vinyl. You know what I mean? Just so the gusset's somewhat even. Is that even? Kind of. There was probably an easier way to do this. But why do the easy way when you can do the complicated way on a live? That's what I always say. Oh, it's a week before. Oh, we're meeting a week before your birthday, or it is a week before your birthday. Got a June birthday. Yeah, we're getting ready to take some Sew on the Stage trips, guys. We're about to do Alabama and Georgia in 2 weeks. And then teaching at a retreat. Well, she's teaching. I'm just the comic relief, I think. And then we're going to head off to our big RV adventure in the East. It's going to be fun. The kids are really, really excited. Okay, so I'm going to take this back under here and I'm going to sew at 1/8 of an inch. No, 1/4 of an inch. Just to get this attached. Okay. Then I'm going to turn this baby and top stitch it. Zoop. I'm gonna put my extra stuff towards the purple, and I'm just gonna kind of finger press this baby down. You know, the same thing happened in my other one. I have a wavy zipper. What do you guys do about wavy zippers? Are my stitches too tight? I guess it's not terrible. I want everything to just be perfect. It's not terrible. Ignore me. Oh, Kasaya, you caught us. Hi. How's it going? Oh, Margaret, that was a good idea. I could place a small mark next time to place the gusset. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Oh, Jane's gonna make these for a trip. Lala Palooza, I'm gonna make the next one. We're comparing today. This one is on Mr. Jingles. This is the medium size, and then we're gonna just move over to the King Max and do that one on the King Max. We're just having a little fun comparing. So far, I think I did it the other way. I'm trying to think which way I did it to guide it. I don't remember. Maybe I did it this way. I don't remember. That's okay. Mr. Jingles loves this kind of fabric. I'm using, on this machine, I'm using Tex 45, bubblegum pink. And then when we switch over to the King Max, oh, I forgot to change my stitch length. Oh well. One side will be really, really long stitches and one side will be short stitches. We're gonna call that art. It's art, baby. Have you joined your zippers in the back? What does that mean? Oh, have I ironed them in the back? I never have. Is that something people do? Oh, for a wavy zipper, iron it first to flatten it out. Wow. You guys are so smart. Okay. That's good to know. Yep, it's definitely art, you guys. It is art. It's okay. I don't think anyone's gonna care except for me. See, I did top stitching size and regular size. How embarrassing. That's okay. All right, so now we have this zipper gusset put together, and I'm going to come to this end where my zipper is too long, and I'm just going to trim off the edge of the zipper. Like this. And I'm gonna say trimmy trim, trim. And then I'm gonna grab my lighter and I'm gonna let it burn, baby. I'm gonna burn the end of that zipper so it doesn't fray and go all crazy on me. Now this canvas, I can see it's fraying at the end. Now, if this was gonna be like raw, I would worry about it and I would probably burn all the edges if I was using it for like binding or something. But since it's all going to be encased in, well, which method are we gonna do? We'll have to think about that. I think we're gonna bind, I don't know. Okay, so then I'm going to take, doesn't matter which side, I'm gonna put one of these pieces. This helps the, you're welcome, sister. Are you having a good vacation? Anyway, you can give me a link to that light you bought for your industrial hooks. Yeah. Oh, Rhonda, remind me when we move to the industrial, I'm gonna show that to you. People have been asking about the light and I'm gonna show it to you. You're gonna put one of these pieces, this is attaches, I don't remember what it's called. Oh my gosh, someone just saved me. Yeah, I need my pull. See, that's why you guys are here. Thanks, Valerie. I'm gonna use, I have these little light gold square pulls that I took from Kasaya's house. I went shopping. She went to bed and I went downstairs and went shopping. Okay, this part I do have to think about. The smaller part is the front, and I want the zipper going that way. So I'm gonna put it on this way. So I suggest you call Ralph's and say, I want the light Kasaya has. It's true. If you want a Kasaya light package, they know what that is. And I'll show you the 2 different lights that she uses. I have them. And I love them when I'm sewing, but my camera hates them when I'm videoing. So I have to kind of turn them off. You know what? There's one little zipper tooth that's being a booty. Kasaya, I want to know how your banana jamma baseball game went last night. The pictures looked really fun, and your outfit was super cute. I did get some pinking shears. But no, I didn't get new ones, though. I have pinking shears. They're just kind of super dull, I think. I'm having a hard time with this zipper. It doesn't want to go on the edge of this. Talk amongst yourselves. Coffee talk. You guys remember that from SNL? It's back in the 90s. They're like, coffee talk. It was the best. Oh, almost. It's just one off. I just always look at my zipper tape and see which tooth is on top before I pull it apart. And I know I want my left one on top in order for it to be the way it was when I pulled it apart. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, thank you for saving me from doing that without the zipper. Baseball game was do amazing. I think she means was amazing. I'm so glad. What else you got? Zipper heads are the worst. Yeah, I know. They're the worst. Okay, here we go. It doesn't matter which end. Okay, this goes up and this goes up like this. All right, and then on my other example that I made, the small size I did, my gusset piece ended up actually matching up and being the same size. But this one I can tell there's a little overhang from right here, which is okay. And the reason why I know it's okay is because if you buy this pattern, she has an incredible video that you can watch. And Jess from Okla Roots did a video on it. It's a miracle I actually watched a video, right? I never watch them. I can't be bothered to watch videos. It's kind of ironic. And when Jess did hers, overhung quite a bit too. And so she just, once she got it on, she just trimmed it. Because the width won't matter, it just needs to all. Okay, so then I'm going to put this guy sandwiched on top, and I'm going to down facing this guy. So right sides together, and I'm basically sandwiching the zipper gusset in between these little pieces. I don't remember what these pieces are called. We're going to call them connecty pieces. So you're going to put your connecty pieces on top and on the bottom of your zipper gusset. And if you have an overhang, just make sure the overhang is on the same side so you can trim it later. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to sew at my seam allowance that it says in the pattern. I'm going to sew it across like this, and then we're going to attach it and make it a full circle. All right, Mr. Jingles, are you ready for this? Y'all ready for this? The truth is, I forget where the seam allowance is on this machine. Just a minute. I got one of these things where you put your needle in and it tells you. Huh. How about that? I do have a line on here for it. This calls for A celebratory M&M. Gusset ends? Okay, Margaret, that probably sounds better than connecty thingies. You're right. A little boring, but we can call it that. Okay, so now I'm going to make a circle. And the way that you do this is first, you're going to take the part that's facing the same way, boom, like this. And we're just gonna connect it. And remember, I'm gonna make sure, once again, that my overhang, hold please. Okay, yeah. My overhang's gonna be all on the same side. Okay, so I'm going to go bada bing, bada boom. Clip, clip, clip it up. Clips are flying everywhere, you guys. And I'm doing this first because it pulls. When I pull the other one, it pulls a lot. So that's why I have to do one first, and then I'll pull the other one around. I'm just gonna clip it. Clip it. Clip it. Now, this guy has to go all the way here. And so the way that we're gonna do that is you roll this part up out of the way. Just like a, I don't know, a fruit roll up. You're gonna roll that and then you're gonna bring that here. Hi, Kimberly. I am making the Packing Pods by Spencer Ogg. You just got here. This is the small size that I made yesterday to make sure that I could do it. And this one that I have in my hands right now is the medium size. And we are making it on my Juki TL2010Q, which is a domestic machine. And then we're gonna head over to Mr. Slim Shady, who is my King Max GC03, I have to read it, 0302. And that is an industrial. And so we just thought we would compare and see, I don't know, if there's much of a difference between doing a little project like this. I think this project's gonna be fantastic on both. Okay, so now I've got this zipper gusset sandwiched in between these. They could be lunch bags. In fact, you can make them out of that insulated stuff, right? And you could put a little pocket in or something. They could be anything, really. Anything, you could put anything in them. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and sew this baby up. And then I will have a complete circle. It's like the circle of life. Boom, 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 of life. Boom, boom, boom. I have to tell you guys something funny. There's in my church they bless the babies, and after they bless the babies, it's like this unspoken tradition that the father holds the baby up for the congregation to see the baby after they give the baby a blessing. But to me, I giggle every time because it just reminds me of Lion King every time. They're like, I present to you Simba. All right, so now I'm gonna take these clips off. And now I have this jumbled mess right here, all right? And I'm just gonna go bum bum bada bada bum bum bada. If you do a song, it helps. Bum bum bada bada bum bum bada bada. Ooh, now you're gonna play an alumni band? That's so cool. That's awesome. I am also doing a concert this weekend. Okay, so Flippy. There we go. We've got our gusset. Okay, so what I have to do first, because my zipper gusset ended up being slightly thinner than my connecty pieces, you'll notice that there's a little overhang on this side, right? So I'm just gonna slice it off. I'm gonna go slice. See if I can do that without slicing the other parts. Wouldn't that be great? And without messing the camera up. Kimberly. Oh, that's a good idea. Lunch bags. You could do medicine in it. Oh, you're by Tim Hortons, Natalie. Give me some food. She introduced us to this Canadian must-have fast food place called Tim Hortons. Okay. Sorry that this is off camera, but there's nothing to see here, people. Oops, that almost dropped on my foot. See? That's it. Extra. So if your zipper gusset ends up being a slightly different size than your connecty pieces, fret not. Just make sure you sew them in the same space. So now it's even, and what I'm supposed to do now is I'm going to sew around all 4 edges of my little connector spot. So I think I'm going to do it from the top, and I'll do more of a top stitch length. You're in the drive-through right now. Nice. Nice. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go again. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Mr. Jingles loves this stuff. Like butter. Boom. Maybe one more. Boom. And I'm just being careful not to catch the gusset underneath that, because that would be so embarrassing. And not super effective. And I'm just kind of holding the pieces flat. You could clip too. I suppose I could have clipped. Oh well, too late now. Come to the edge. Maybe one more. Yep. Put the needle in before I turn it. Okay. Once again, just making sure my pieces are kind of out of the way. And pulling these pieces flat so there's not crazy wrinkly things in it. Crazy wrinklies. Don't you wish we could do that with our bodies? Just pull it flat so there's not crazy wrinkly things. After this, we're going to actually attach the handle to it. Now, once again, the pattern calls to make a handle out of whatever vinyl or canvas or cotton that you're using. But I just grabbed some webbing and thought that that would be fine too. And I like the way it looks too. One of the pros of using canvas instead of webbing is that if you want to like pack them up really small when you're not using them, you can squish them more if there's not webbing on it. That is true. Okay, so now we have our gusset all the way complete. This part is top stitched here and the part next to the zipper is top stitched. Our zipper pull is put on, and we are saying that the small part is the top or front of the bag. And so I have my zipper pull that way so you can kind of see, you know, the front, so it goes that way. Someone had suggested putting 2 zippers on it, which is a fantastic idea, especially for the big size. So if I have time to run up before I do the big one, I might do one with 2 zippers. I like that idea. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to find the centers for 2 different reasons. Oh, sorry. First I need the centers this direction just for my handle placement. And I'm just going to put a little mark. It doesn't have to be perfect, although I say that, but I like it to be perfect. So I'm trying to let go a little bit. Kasaya tells me that I care about perfection too much. Whatever, Kasaya, whatever. Okay, so I just put 2 little marks in the center so I know where to center my handles. Now on this webbing, I've already put some double-sided tape right here so that I can fold them under, because I don't want to leave the edges of the webbing raw. I want to fold it under. Hi, Annette. Am I missing anything? I would be 7 feet tall if I were pulled flat to pull out the wrinkles. That's funny. So I've taken that off and I'm just going to fold this under, and I'm not exactly sure. I need to kind of see how big I want my handle. I know there's actual measurements, but I'm just kind of like eyeballing to see how much of a handle I want. So I'm going to fold one side, and then I'm just going to fold the other side the same. And I can already see that some of this is fraying, so I'm going to grab my lighter and just hit it one more time on the edges. I just really don't want those edges to pull apart. Okay, so I'm just going to come next to this one and see if I can get it about the same. Okay. Hi, Sheila. How are you? Annette, catch you up. She said her canvas. Oh, yeah, Wonderground. Oh, she's helping her to get all the links. Okay, you're amazing, guys. Thank you. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to be attaching the handle just a little bit in from the edge of this, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and sew like this, and then I'm going to make just a small little rectangle so I catch the whole thing down, okay? You could put tape to keep it down, but I tried this yesterday, knock on wood, and it was okay for me to just hold it with my finger. So I don't know if you can see this. So I'm just placing this. I'm holding this hand is pushing down the webbing so that it doesn't move. This hand is making sure that everything is out from underneath it, because I want to sew through this connector piece, but I don't want to sew through, is that light? I guess it's okay. But I don't want to sew through any of the purple part. That would kind of defeat the purpose. So here we go. I'm gonna go actually back and forth a couple times because I want it really sturdy. Oh, I forgot to change my stitch. I'm gonna go forward, back, and forward. I realize that's not maybe the perfect way to do it, but I just want it to be sturdy. And then I'm going to go over a couple stitches, and I'm going to come down, and now I'm going to do a couple lines of stitching this way. I'm going to go forward, back, and forward. Okay, and then I'm going to turn and just connect this little box. Is it perfect? No. Does it bother me? Yes. Will I survive it? I hope so. Okay, so then the handle is sewn on just like that. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. This machine is going through the webbing and the canvas with no problem. Knock on wood. So I'm going to bring this up to the same spot I had that one. I'm going to center it with my little center mark there. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of hold down with my left hand. I'm holding down the webbing so that as I slide it under here, it doesn't move. And my right hand's going to hold threads and just make sure the purple stuff's not in the way. Do a couple back stitches. Okay, I'm going to go all the way down and come all the way back again. Not because it tells you to, but because I just want to. So I want to make sure it's really in there. You could do rivets, I suppose. Okay, and then I'm just going to connect that box one more time like I did on the other side. So now I have the handle sewn on. It's just hooked either side. So if you don't want to carry anything in your bag, you're done. But if you want to carry something in it, we should attach the next part. Okay. Okay, what comments are you saying? I am using, right now on this one, I'm using Tex 45 on this, on the top and the bobbin. And my needle for this one, I believe, is an 18. Yep. And it's working great. Okay, now I'm going to mark my centers so that I can attach my side panels. So I'm gonna find the one side of the center by kind of matching these seams up first. And we're gonna do that as a center. Bada bing. Can you even see that? Yeah, kind of. If you say things like bada bing, bada boom, it helps. And bada bing, bada boom. Okay, and then I'm gonna pull it all the way to the other side to get this one. Snip. You can put a little straight clip in it. You can mark it with a pencil or a pen, or you could do like a little triangle out of it, which is kind of my new preferred way to do it. I can't seem to see if you just do a slit. I have a really hard time seeing it. The trick is when you do the triangle, see, that was a little bit of a triangle. That was a little too big. You don't want to go past your seam allowance, which it won't, but that was a little too big. Okay, now I want to do my sides. So I'm going to line up my top and bottom clips together. And I'm going to go snippy snip, snap, snap. I'm going to try to be a little more conservative and not so snip happy. Kasaya, are you at the rooftop pool right now? I need to know. I hope you're enjoying yourself. You need a vacation. I'm pretty sure my needle size is an 18. Oh, we already answered that. How embarrassing. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and it doesn't matter which one, these are both the same that I cut out front and back. Oh wait, we need one of these. And I'm going to be turning my gusset, so wrong side is out, all right? And I'm going to take my top center clip and I'm gonna go ahead and clip it to the center clip here. We're gonna do the long sides first. And then we're gonna do our little trick for the side. That Saya just taught me. And then I saw this pattern, I was like, oh my gosh, I actually know what that means. Because I'm only gonna sew to this marking that I made. I'm not gonna sew past that marking. Okay, okay. So we're gonna clip both these real quick. I have a song in my head, I can't get it out. All right, now I'm going to use my full seam allowance, all right? And I'm going to be going from marking to marking. So I'm not starting at the edge. Really important that you don't start at the edge. You want to start at your marking and just go to the next marking. It will all make sense in just a minute. Of course, I'm going to do a little back stitching action. Now I can feel my zipper right here, but it's not over into where I am, so I think I'm okay not moving it. But if you have a big chunky zipper, just be careful. Just be aware of where it is. I decided not to use big chunky zippers because the whole point is this to pack, you know, to kind of pack down small. Okay, now I'm coming to the end and I have to remind myself, stop at the mark, stop at the mark, stop at the mark. And I have to say it a few times because I'll forget. Boom, chickalaka. Okay, and I'll show you what it should look like at this point. So I've sewn this piece right side to right side, all right? And I've gone from this mark here to this mark here, just not the ends. See how the ends still come up? Now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna clip this together, right sides to right sides, starting with my center mark, working my way out, and then sewing from marking to marking. Okay? Okay. Yes, just like the oxbow tote. It's the same thing. I would have been freaking out if I hadn't have just done that. There's a musical coming to Toronto called The Last Timbit. Oh my gosh. Guys, do you know what Timbits are? They're little donuts at Tim Hortons. And they're called Timbits. That is funny. There's a musical about it. Do they sell Timbits at the concession stand for the musical? Because that would be so incredible. All right, here I go. I'm sewing from marking to marking at my full seam allowance. And I just want to make sure nothing funky is in here. What have I got there? Oh, it's just the, okay, we're good. Okay, now I'm stopping at my next marking. And now I'm ready to attach my side portions. And this is where we do our little clippity clip, snippity snip snap. Okay, so, did I cut everything? So now what I'm gonna do, hopefully I can say this right. Okay. Where I did the mark here, in that spot, I'm gonna cut this portion. And I'm just gonna do a little slit from the end to where the stitches are, like that, and stop. I'm not gonna go past the stitches, but I'm gonna go right there, and I'm gonna do it on all four sides. And it's gonna allow me to have these corners just right. Okay, so I'm going right where my stitching stopped, because that's my mark, right? I'm just gonna go snippy. Then I'm gonna come to this side, right to it, boop. This side, right to it, boop. And one more side. And I'm holding with my other hand the other layer out of the way because I don't want to accidentally snip this panel part. I only want to snip the gusset. Okay, so now I'm going to take my clips and I'm going to go ahead and line up the center first, and then I'll show you what happens at those ends. Although I'm sure you've all done this. You're like, we know, Susan, we've done this. Okay. Okay, so when I get to the end, what happens is this pushes out and it makes it go straight. So I'm gonna be able to just sew straight. Whereas if I didn't put that snip in, this would all be connected and it would be, does that make sense? So it just kind of like lets it lay flat. So I'm going to clip both sides first, and then I'm gonna sew up both sides. And then we're ready to bind that one before we do the other side. Pretty quick, right? Well, I don't know if it's quick. It's all relative. And you could see that this canvas, it frays quite a bit. So I'm sitting here thinking, maybe I will bind just because this fabric. I think if I was doing like vinyl, I would probably do the other method that she shows, where instead of binding, you just lay the seams flat and you sew around them, which would work too. Okay, we're ready. So now I'm gonna flip it to where I can see this, and I'm gonna go ahead, and you'll notice that, let me see if I can get something to show you. Oh, you're here for it. Thanks, Margaret. Even though you probably already all know, probably all shake your head at me, don't you? Okay, so this stitch stopped here, all right? You can see the mark is here. I'm gonna sew at my full seam allowance, and I'm gonna come all the way across, and it's just gonna catch that right at the cross section. Boom. Now, when I get to the bottom part, there's a lot of material that's under it. And I noticed that if I'm not careful, I'll get a wrinkle in it. So I kind of, when I get to the end, I kind of push some of this extra stuff out of the way, so I have as flat of a seam as possible. Not that it probably matters. It probably doesn't even show. I'm probably being crazy, but that's right. I'm okay with crazy. Okay, and now what you have is that. See? It's got these straight corners on them. Boom. So now we're going to turn and do the other side just the same. I'm going to start at that marking. I'm going to make sure this purple gusset part isn't folded weird. I just don't want to catch it weird. I'm just getting my threads out of the way there. Okay, once again, I'm coming to the end and I don't want to pucker. So I'm just making sure the needle is all the way down, and I'm gonna lift it up a little bit so I can get my hand under here. And I'm just gonna kind of pull the extra fabric out of the way, just so there's no weird puckers there, okay? All right, so let's see what we have. Let's see what we have. Okay, so that's the inside of it. It's looking pretty, isn't it? Yeah, clear vinyl actually would be really good on this. I thought about that too. It'd be easy. You wouldn't have to adjust anything, I wouldn't think. Okay, so now we are going to, and this is the part okay, I'm gonna show you what I did. It's not perfect. I did binding, and I did the fold over elastic binding. And when I turn it out, it's okay, right? But when I turn it in, the corners, there's like so much extra stuff. I'll show you what I mean. See the extra stuff in the corner? How it's like shoved in there? So I wonder, she talks about mitering the edge a little bit. What do you guys think? What if I cut this square out so that when I'm binding, there's not that, so basically I would bring those two together a little bit, you know what I mean? We're doing it. I'm just gonna be careful not to cut my stitching. Like that. So when I'm going around the binding, I can kind of push this up a little bit and there's not extra. Yep, 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 that's what we're doing. I think that sounds good. I didn't like the way the other one came out. Okay, so I'm just taking out the extra fabric out of each corner, and then we're gonna bind this baby. And what we might do is switch over to the King Max to do the large one next, unless you want me to put the other panel on this one. I guess I just don't know if this video is too long or not. I'm always worried about that. So I just have this fold over elastic binding. You guessed it, from Kasaya's Closet. And I have to think about this. Wait. I have to stretch it this way. Okay. And I know there's a fancy way that you can connect binding, and I know I do it in quilting, and for some reason I haven't been able to visualize how to do it. So I connect it, just overlap the edges, and it looks a little bit janky. And I've decided that I'm okay with that. Okay. So if you're thinking this is a binding tutorial, well, I'm sorry about that. Okay, I'm gonna pull it just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna see if I can stretch it just a little bit. It'll pull those two corners together, I think. I bought some ripstop as it is waterproof and lightweight, but I love what you've used. Is ripstop a, is that a fabric or is that a binding? See, that's how much I know. I heard someone else talking about ripstop, but I wasn't sure what it was. Okay, and I don't want to pull too much because this fabric is actually so lightweight that I'm afraid it'll make it crinkle a little bit. I'm just pulling it a little bit so that when my machine pushes it a little bit, it won't get all wrinkly. Hi, Patty. Cynthia doesn't care how long my video will be. Thank you, Cynthia. Well, we can decide whether you want me to finish this one up real quick or move to the next one. I guess the other side won't be terribly long, will it? I'm gonna get my finger in here and just push this up in there. Ooh, I can already tell that's gonna go on better without that extra stuff in the corner. Sorry about that. A phone call somehow broke through. Let me see what I can do about this, just a minute. I don't know. I put do not disturb. I put it on work mode. Can you see me? Okay. It's a parachute material. Oh, okay, I do know what that is. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I could see how that would actually be incredible. Do fabric store, like regular fabric stores sell that? That would be cool. That'd be perfect for this bag, honestly. Well, if you have a domestic machine, I'm telling you guys, this machine, this is so easy on it. And like I said, she says in her thing, you can use whatever kind of material you want. If you want something more sturdy, like you're wanting to put stuff in it that maybe you want a little more protection for, I mean, you could do vinyl. You could do a lining for it if you wanted. But, or you could make it out of cotton. You could make it super light out of cotton. You could do this water resistant canvas, which is what I'm doing, which is really light. You could do the, what's that slippery nylon something? I got some at Wonderground and it's like super smooth. You could do that too. I might have to make a few versions of this. Yep. Okay. No, there's Lux. Yeah, you could totally do it out of Lux. But there's that other one that's like super slippery. Bonded. That's the one. Okay, so like I said, there's a fancy way to do binding, but I'm going to do the not fancy way where I just cut it and I hope for the best. I am going to burn my edges just a little bit though, because this stuff likes to fray. It likes to have a little party with its threads up in here. Okay, so I'm going to take the end and I'm just going to stretch it over the beginning and I'm going to hope for the best. All right, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and just put this binding on this side. And I think this little trick with taking out the extra in the corners, I can already tell by the way that it's gone on there, that it's going to help. That won't curl up so much. Okay. Here we go. Ready or not. Oh, maybe I should have done the other side up. Oh well, we'll find out. Yeah, the corners might have been easier if I did it the other way. That's okay. Open my zipper. Really? Will that help? Margaret, I believe you. First I have to go all the way this way. All the way this way. Margaret says, open your zipper, Susan. Oh, Margaret, I see. That is easier. Margaret's a genius. If I ever make it to New York City, Margaret and I are going to hang out, right, Margaret? Once again, I'm using fold over elastic, and this machine loves it. Good job, Mr. Jingles. He's been a little sad. I've neglected him, haven't I? And I think someone asked, will my King Max also do okay on the vinyl? It will. We're gonna go right to it in a minute. The only adjustment I'm making on the King Max is I'm using thicker thread. I'm using 70. Same color though. Also stole it from my sister's closet. Terrible. I sound like a thief. I'm really not a thief. I'm an honest person. In all fairness, I did ask permission. There might be one or two spots where maybe I missed the underneath. I don't know, but I'll check that when I go back. Just nice and slow around the corners. Okay, I'm coming to the end. I'm just going to sew those two ends over each other. Just kind of like sandwich them together a little bit. It's not necessarily a work of art, but that's okay. Oh, hey, I got it all. Okay. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. You got your first big order from Wonderground. Ooh, did you like that? Amber, my swap buddy should be getting her package today. I'm going to go to the mailbox and deliver mine today. Okay, so there you go. That's what it looks like. Okay, so quite a few people had said maybe we can just go ahead and finish this one up. I might as well, right? Let's finish this one up, and then we'll go over to the King Max, and we'll do at least all or part of the large one, so we can compare the two machines. So far, I mean, honestly, I think the biggest difference between my machines is what it can handle. Which way do I want to go? Oh, I have to do this first part. Okay, we're attaching these long sides again, and we're going from mark to mark. Okay. Am I doing this right? Allow me to think for a minute. Yes, that's correct. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, so yeah, what it can handle, I think, is the biggest thing. But I know a lot of you who have domestics or even this particular machine have really worked out how to go over different, you know, massive seams and different things by doing all sorts of, you know, little accommodations, which I think is awesome. Because not everyone is going to have an industrial, and I think we can still make tons of stuff on domestics. Right? Right. Okay, once again, I'm going from mark to mark only, and then I'm stopping. And now we know why, because I have to do that little cut and turn when I attach the sides on. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing for this side. Oh, I'm going to cut these threads real quick. How are we doing? I'm not even looking at the screen. Turn it, and let's see, the corners look better. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, from the other method, that's a good idea. Ooh, look at those corners. Ooh! Ooh, yep. It does look better. There's still a little bit of bulk in there, but those corners are nice. Real nice. All right. Let's do, what am I doing? This side. Next, make sure I'm not twisted anywhere. All right, we're gonna put this side on next. You guys, I've been watching this crazy documentary. Do you want to hear about it? I like sports documentaries and crime documentaries and history documentaries. And I've been watching a few. I kind of don't watch. I listen while I do things, right? So I don't usually actually look up very much because I'm always listening or doing something else. Anyways, there was this guy in Wisconsin, I think it was. Minnesota, Wisconsin, I don't know. I'll have to look up what state it was. And he got convicted for a terrible crime, which I shall not say, like 20 years ago or something. And he had claimed his innocence, and leading up to it, there was like a dispute between him and the sheriff's wife, some kind of road rage thing. And they had wanted to get him for something. Anyways, he gets locked away for like 18 years for this awful crime. And finally, all the DNA capabilities caught up. Like, back in the 80s, they couldn't check that stuff, but they kept all these samples. Well, they went back and did some tests after the science kind of updated and realized it wasn't him, it was someone else that had done it. He had been telling the truth all along. So he starts to go through this process of suing the investigators for, wrongful imprisonment, and just trying to put some precautions in place so this wouldn't happen again. Because there were a lot of things that they ignored and they didn't really actually investigate very much. I mean, of course, I'm watching this documentary. I don't know whose perspective it's from, although they're kind of interviewing everyone. So then, as this lawsuit is going through and he's getting ready to win however many millions of dollars, a lady goes missing, and they eventually find her remains, and they arrest this guy for it. So they put him back in jail, and he's claiming his innocence, right? And all these things start coming forward. Like they had found some. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it super PG. They had found some stuff in her car that would make it look like he had maybe cut himself, and in her car. And then they found a key to her car in his house, but it was like the 7th day of they had so many investigators in there. It was their 7th time coming in through this place, and all of a sudden there's a key. And the only DNA this key has on it is his. It doesn't even have her DNA on it. It doesn't have anything from her. It only has his stuff on it, his fingerprints or whatever. And anyway, so they're saying that the cops set him up because the county didn't want to have to pay out all those millions of dollars or whatever. Oh, Stacy, you know it. Yes. So I'm at the part, yes, it's called The Making of a Murderer. It's an insane documentary because this whole time I'm thinking, well, did he do it or did he not do it? And now they're finding all this evidence that the police tampered. They went in to an old file. They went to look at this old stuff, and the police, all the evidence is locked away. It had been sliced open, and there was a blood sample from him, and there was a hole poked in the top, like from a syringe, like someone had gone in to his files, pulled out his sample of blood from the case before, taken the blood and splattered it on this lady's car to make it look like he did it. I mean, they haven't proved that that's what's happened. So if you've seen it, don't tell me the ending, because right now they're in court and they're trying to decide what's admissible in court and all that. Did they seriously frame him 2 times in a row? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I clipped, I don't know if you saw while I was talking, I went ahead and did a little clippy clip. Yeah. That's what I was listening to last night while I was finishing my swap bag and then making my sample pod. Stephen Avery. Woof. Interesting stuff. It's on Netflix. Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's called The Making of a Murderer. And yeah, they totally framed him. And someone had said who the actual person was on the first crime, but the police ignored it. They didn't want it to be that person. They just wanted to get this guy, so they did. It's insane. And I listened to another one. It was about the Boston police. it was either a podcast or a show, and it was about the Boston police and a massive scandal that happened there too. Oh, it was insane. Good stuff, I tell you, good stuff. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go at my full seam allowance. I'm gonna sew up my sides, and we're ready to bind it, baby. B-I-B, bind it, baby. Oh, you don't have Netflix? I'm sorry. It's really good though. I'm sure there's articles about it. I mean, it was a big deal, I guess, when it happened. Okay, what are you guys saying? Oh, I love true crime too. Especially this one was crazy because they had been documenting because he had just been released from prison and was doing this big lawsuit. So it was already, there was all this footage on him as this is happening in the middle of this other massive, scandal, I guess. And what was interesting to me too is when he came out the first time, once he was out, he was super forgiving. He's like, well, it's done now. He goes, we need to, do this lawsuit so this doesn't happen to someone else. But I'm not, people are like, aren't you angry? He's like, no, I mean, let's just move forward. Let's have a good life. It's interesting. Not that he was an upstanding citizen necessarily. He's a character, but characters make the world go round, I suppose. All right, I am stitching up my other. Sorry, I'm not talking about it. I just did it on the other one though. Hi, Diane. Do you know if we can listen to hundreds? Oh, I know. I love the Dateline one. The Date podcast with all the true crime was amazing. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing I did before, and I'm going to cut out the extra little square because I think that helped. Looks like I have a bunch of true crime friends out here. Is my internet going weird, guys? Shoot. There's not even anyone here to blame it on. Can you guys hear me? I don't know if you can hear me or not. Sorry. There's not even anyone at my house. I usually can blame it on someone. Oh, you can, okay. I think it usually catches up. So I'm just gonna do this while it's being funky, and then we will head on to our next one on the King Max, okay? All right, well then we'll just keep talking, and if it doesn't clear up before I'm done with this, then we can hop on a new one for the large one over on the King Max, okay? So just stick with me for a minute. Let's see. Right now, I'm just putting binding on. I'm just clipping it on the same way I did the one before. I'm pulling it a little bit tight. I am silly. My internet's so dumb, you guys. Even upgraded it. All right, well, I'll sing to you. I'm putting on the binding, even though you can't see it. I'm going clip, clip, clippy. And no, don't you dare. That's hilarious. I get fiber optic. That's the problem. They came to do it, and then they wanted to do all these crazy drilling, and they did it at a neighbor's house and destroyed their house. And so, of course, we were nervous. We're like, if you're going to destroy all the house, we don't know if we want this, but it looks like we need to get it. I know. And usually, if there's no one here, it's fine. And it's just me. I wonder if I turn... I mean, the only thing I have is my phone recording, and I have my computer playing it back for me. So I wonder if I need to turn my computer off. I guess I could try that. I'll turn my computer off. But then I can't see your comments. I don't know. Tell me if that helped. I think this deserves an M. Did it help? Anyone? Bueller? It's YouTube, you think? No. It's not YouTube. It's MeTube. It's my problem. Because it always happens with me. Did I have another call or text? I don't think so, but... Well, shoot, guys. Yeah, I think it's time. It's time for fiber optic cable internet or wherever the heck it's called. Well, I can read on my phone just while it comes in and it disappears. So I'm trying to read your comments. That's why I'm looking at this. Kasaya says, keep going. Oops, clips are flying. I feel like sometimes it gets better after a while. And like I said, if we need to start and stop for the King Max one, we can do that. Or you guys could tell me to do the King Max one. Whatever you want. All right, I am just joining my two binding sides together. Oh, I need to burn them real quick. This fold over elastic you just, because of the way I'm doing it, kind of a janky way, and my edges are a little bit raw, I just want to, melt them a little bit. But if you're doing the fancy way, I don't know if you do that because you won't have any raw edges. If you're so fancy, you don't need to burn. Bum, ba-dum, 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 bum. Okay. I am ready. It's all clipped. It's time to sew the binding. I'm going to open my computer back up because evidently that didn't help. And it's really hard to not see comments. Okay. Let's catch up. Here we go. Ooh, that's a good idea. Okay, here we go. Someone said we should do a clear vinyl project for so long. That's actually a really good idea. That'd be fun. Oh, it's better? Oh, I don't know what I did. Well, here I am, guys. We're sewing this binding on. If you're just joining us, we're making the packing pods, and this is the medium size on Mr. Jingles. If you don't want to bind this bag, you don't have to. She actually has another method in her pattern where you just sew the seams down, like with a zigzag stitch. But I've decided that my fabric frays too much, and I'd rather just bind it. Oh, thank you. Annette Harris loves the fabric. I do too. I think it's a really pretty combo. Nothing says I want to go on vacation like beautiful packing pods. That's what I always say. I don't think I'm going on vacation anytime soon, but still. I'll bring these on our work trips, Saya. How's that sound? Maybe because Saya needs me to make her some, since I'm so advanced. My machine's making a strange noise, and so I'm checking to see if the bobbin's out or what's going on. It's getting angry with me. Don't be angry, little guy. Once again, I get to the corners and I just kind of pull the extra material out of the way, so I can try to avoid a big old dimple in it. But if I get a dimple in it, is it really the end of the world? No. All right, what are you guys saying? You made fresh pasta? Yes, please. That would be amazing. A serger would be amazing on the edges, honestly. Yeah, I can teach you totally, Kasaya. Yeah, right. I don't think so. Kasaya is very patient and kind with me. But I think we all know when it comes to sewing, she is not the younger sister in that. Okie dokie, let's see if we caught all the edges all on both sides. Almost. I missed one little part. Do you see that part right there? Boop. So I'm just gonna put it under and just reinforce that one little part. The rest of it looks totally fine. It is nice that this thread matches this perfectly. It must be the exact same color. Is this bubblegum pink binding, Kasaya? It's genius. Just genius. Okay. So there's the binding, and we're ready to turn and burn, baby. Okay, so this is the small size. Here, there. Okay. You saw this pattern before, didn't read the sizes, but thought they were bigger. The big one is bigger. This is the small. This is the medium. Oh, did I catch it weird? No, I didn't. I'm just poking the corners out, seeing how we did here. Okay. I made a water bottle bag from a pattern I bought when I was in Allegiance. I saw the exact same bag for sale. That's awesome. Okay, let's see. Let's see how it looks. We're just gonna puff it out because it's not lined or anything. It's not meant to kind of hold its own. It's meant to be thin so you can pack it away. But there's the medium size. Beep boop. Beep boop. Next to the small size. So look, that's my arm. It's like the size of my arm. The size of these little scissors. What do you guys think? I think those are adorable. Okay, are you guys over it, or do you want me to do the King Max large one? I can go a lot faster because I don't have to like say anything, or I can stop the video. Do you want to see the King Max now? I'll eat an M&M while you answer. Well, Rhonda wants a King Max. Sharon wants me to do the large. Okay, I just didn't want to do too much. Okie dokie, let me change the camera angle, which might mess up my video a little bit, but that's okay. Let me move some tools over here. I'm gonna move my computer. You just got here, video problems. We're having video problems here too. True, true. Okay, let's do the large one. It's all prepped and ready. And I can probably zip through it a little bit faster if we're not explaining it as much. So look, I just have my Juki there and my King Max right here. And Teddy, let's look at Teddy. Teddy's taking a little nap. Teddy, you doing okay there, bud? He loves it when I either sew or when I play an instrument. And he just lays next to me. Okay. Let me just move my computer so I can see comments. Sorry, I'm gonna have to reach across y'all because I need to plug it in. Bzoop. Yeah, I definitely need to plug it in. Sorry, excuse me for a minute while I reach across. Okay. I've got my large one ready to go. Oh, I was gonna do, oh shoot, can you not hear me? Where did your mic go? You want me to grab the extra zipper pull? Can you guys hear me still? Maybe I will. Okay, someone suggested 2 zipper pulls on the large one. So if you guys are okay, I'm gonna run upstairs and I'm gonna grab 2 zipper pulls for this one, okay? I'll be back. I'll give you a bowl of M&Ms to look at and 2 packing pods to admire. Okay, I'll grab that. All right, I just brought the whole drawer down. Okay. Okay. I think we've got it. King Max, King Max. Did you guys see her sewing with one hand? I was sewing with one hand. I don't remember doing that. Okay. I have the same exact bag cut out. It's the large size. So the only difference is it's larger. And since it's larger, I think we're going to choose 2 larger pulls, actually. I'll do those. Okay. I'm using Tex 70 thread in the King Max. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show you the light, and then I'm going to turn off the light, okay? Because I know it does weird things. So the light that Kasaya talks about is that. So it just hooks on to this bobbin thing right there. And it's all the way up there. The other light that she uses, and I'm going to turn that off because I know it's doing funky things. The other light that she uses is this right here, and it's magnetic, so I'm going to pull it off and show it to you. Whew. Took a drink and it went down the wrong pipe. It's got a magnet on it, and it's got this big old long thing. Okay, and so you can kind of put it wherever you need it. But we discovered the other day, is there a name for the light? Sorry, oof. I don't know. We got it at Ralph's in Denver, and they don't have a website you can buy from. You just call them and order it. And if you say, I want the big blue light that Kasaya uses, it's not a blue light, but there's a blue thing on it. They'll know exactly what you're talking about. Ooh, sorry, hope I can stop coughing here. It just went down the wrong pipe. Okay, so I am using Tex 70 thread. I hope my light's not too bright. Is that okay-ish? I'm gonna come up with this one a little bit. I've got a light on the back. Is that a little bit better? Okay, great. Do you know if you press your heel down on the pedal, your machine will cut your threads? Yes, on the Juki it will do that. Although they say try not to do it for... No, never mind. Yes, I just don't do it. Okay, here we go. Step 1. We're going to make our zipper gusset. These pieces are definitely longer. Once again, my zipper ended up being longer than my gusset pieces, which is fine. It just means that I need to make sure I attach them both the same place and that I cut off the extra when I'm done. This purple canvas has one side that's slightly shinier. So whether it is meant to be the correct side or not, I don't know, but I'm calling it the correct side. And so I'm going right sides together, and I put double-sided tape on the zipper tape. And now we're gonna make the same bag, except larger, and we're gonna make it on the King Max, which is an industrial. It's very similar to Juki's and Thor's, and they seem to all be the same to me. I'm not sure if it matters. It's just price and where can you get it and where can you get it serviced, you know, wherever you live. I'm not sure there's a right or wrong answer to any of that. I don't know, guys. This showed up at my house because Kasaya was like, I want you to have an industrial machine and sew with me. And I said, okay. And at first I was like thinking, no, I don't want it because I don't want to have to take up part of my house with it. But the truth is, it's really awesome to sew on. It makes life wonderful. All right, so I'm going to sew this on here, using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Once again, everything's the same except now I'm using Tex 70 thread. And here, I can tell you what needle. I put a new needle in yesterday. Just a minute. I am using, I want to say it's also an 18. Yeah, it's an 18. I'm using an 18. Okay, and now I'm just going to turn that up and top stitch it. Rose, I've been wanting to do this pattern. Oh, good. Rose, you'd be amazing at it. You know what I always say, guys? If I can do it, anyone can do it. That's actually kind of true, I think. Okay. I'm just going to finger press this up so I can top stitch it open. And then I'm going to do the same for the other side, just like we did on the other bag. Yeah, when it comes to this bag and these materials, I don't feel like the two machines are necessarily different at all, actually. Boop. They both do great. Like, this is a bag you could easily make on whatever machine you own. Just choose the materials you think your machine will be great with. I chose lighter fabrics because A, I knew I was going to be doing it on both machines, and B, because they're packing pods, I want to be able to actually pack them away when I'm not using them and not have them take a lot of space. I think they all fit in each other, actually. We're going to try it. They're going to be in my little Russian nesting dolls when we're done. I know it's going to take an extra hot second, but I'm actually going to put a double layer of stitching down because I went a little bit close and I feel like the zipper's kind of popping up. So we'll just do it real fast, I promise. Okay, so I made my practice one on the King Max too, and the same thing happened. The material became wavy and the zipper became way wavy on the King Max one, where the Juki one, it didn't really. And I don't know if my tension's off, if I'm pulling weird, if I'm not sure, but both times it did that. So that is one difference. Someone had said I could take an iron to it, but you can see like it's pulled it tight and now it's curved. But I put the other side on and it will help a little bit. So it's interesting. The Juki did it both times. I mean, the King Max has done it both times, but the Juki didn't. I'm sure it's something I'm doing. It's fine. I think it's going to pull it back the other way when I put this on. Okay, I'm finding my shiny side. Oops, I just knocked my zippers down. My zipper pulls. I'm going to put those somewhere safe. You guys have to help me to remember to put those on before I put the gusset thingy. Hi, Brittany. Maybe the pressure. Oh, yeah. That could be it. Maybe that's what it is. Okay. Well, it was interesting. It's an interesting observation that it did it both times. It made it wavy. You can see how wavy it is. But when I did the Juki, it really wasn't that wavy. And I'm just kind of putting this even with the other end since the zipper's longer. I'm just going slow so I can kind of get it even here. Okay, now I'm going to sew this guy on. This way. I always have to think about that. Okay, and then I will turn it and top stitch. This time I'm going to remember to go to the top stitch length. That's why my 210 is for lighter weight materials. Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe that's that other one did sew up nicer because it's so lightweight. It did sew up super nice on that one. All right, same thing. I'm going to finger press this to where my seam, my extra stuff as I like to call it, is pointed outwards towards the purple. And then I'm gonna go ahead and top stitch. I'll do 2 lines just like I did on this side to make it even Steven. All right. And I can tell this is bigger. I have to put this gusset up and over my shoulder. Definitely a bigger bag. Watch you do between Zoom meetings. I know how that goes. What else you got here? Yeah, I think you guys are right. I think the industrial loves the thicker stuff. The Juki TL loves this thin stuff. Hi, Sylvia. We're making some packing pods. I did one on the domestic and now I'm doing one on the industrial. See, that did straighten it out a lot. It's still a little bit bumpy, but I guess the other side pulled it even. I don't know. I don't know. All right, now we're gonna trim the extra zipper on each side. Yeah, my zipper is definitely wavy on this one. You can see it. It's interesting. Interesting. Right, so I've got zipper hanging over. burning the ends. Sylvia, finally got your bag exchange. Yeah, me too. I just finished mine yesterday. I'm going to try to mail it today. I've got to go do some errands after this. I have a symphony concert tomorrow. I'm hoping the programs come. Oh, you know what? The doorbell rang earlier. I wonder if that was the programs. I have to go get these inserts at a copy place, and then I have to stuff 500 programs. And I need to practice a little bit, just so I know all the tempos. Anyways, when I go out and about to get that, I'm hoping to get my bag mailed off. Okay, so I've got my zipper gusset, and I've got my M&M. All right, next thing we're gonna do is we're going to put our connector thingies, AKA bottom gusset, AKA plaid parts. Okay, face up, face up. Oh, zipper pulls, thank you. You guys, you all knew it. Thank you. All right. I'm going to do 2 zipper pulls since it's such a big bag. So we're going to put one facing one way and one facing the other. And they're going to meet in the middle, like my favorite country song. I'd start walking your way. You guys know that song? You start walking mine. We meet in the middle. Beneath that old Georgia pine, we gained a lot of ground. 'Cause we both give a little. Ain't no road too long. It was 700 something from your front gate to mine. All right. Ooh, need to burn the zipper a little bit more. It's fraying. Just wants to fray. And I want to say, don't be afraid. Get it? Huh? Afraid. Boom. Boom. Kiss. Okay. Let's burn this baby a little bit more. Molly, I'll sing you happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Molly's birthday is today. She got out of the hospital, hooray. Now she's home watching YouTube. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Molly. Linda, what are we congratulating Linda for? Congratulations, Linda. I don't know what we're congratulating for. Just a minute. Five minutes away from signing off for the last time. I said singing off, that's funny. For 30 years. Oh my gosh, Linda, congratulations. That's incredible. Incredible. That's right, 700 steps from your house to mine. It's a great song. I found a station here that plays country music from like the days I used to listen to all the time. So it's all the country music I know. It's my new favorite. With the handle placement, won't the zippers be on the bottom? Yeah. I mean, we can just pull them up to one, but yeah. They will. Oh well, it's done now. We'll see if we like it. The pattern actually doesn't call for double zippers, but I thought since it was someone had suggested double zippers, and I thought, you know what, let's do it on the large one. It's such a large bag that if you're trying to stuff things in there for packing to get more in there, sometimes a double zipper is nice when you're trying to pack a lot into something. Or it's just a silly idea, I don't know. All right, I'm putting this one on top like this. And I kind of did those clips first because it just kept slipping when I tried doing it the other way. So I know this is a little silly, but we've already determined that I'm a little bit silly. Teddy's having a good nap today. Wow, he didn't even react when I said his name just now. I wonder if I said W-A-L-K if he would react. That would be so mean, wouldn't it? Unless you move the handle to the zipper gusset. Yeah, I suppose I could do that, couldn't I? I could. Oops. Clips. Flying everywhere. Boop. Boop. All right. Let's make a circle. Oh, there's a tornado on the ground. Ooh. Oh, Stacy's joining me. She just opened a king-size bag of peanut M&Ms. You know what? I'll see your king-size bag and I'll raise you 2. All right, so I take this portion here and I'm going to roll it out of the way. Stay safe with your tornado, Annette. Holy cow. Are you in Lincoln? Ew. I use double pulls on the large as well. Oh, nice. Okay. Good to know. All right. Let's loop it, baby. Loop. Now we're going to undo it. And bada bing, bada boom. Okay, this one didn't really have an overhang, so I actually don't have to trim it first. Except all this fringe that keeps coming off. This material says, whee, I'm going to unravel on ya. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch around this square. Ever so gently and carefully. I just need a little swig. Okay, it's like this coconut water. It's really good. Okay, here we go. Boo, boo, boo. Boo, boo, boo. Boo, 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 boo. With a knick-knack, paddywhack, give it like a bone, so I came rolling home. Making sure to hold the gusset out of the way so you don't accidentally sew her up. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. I'm not sure how I did it, but I can tell I'm gonna have extra on the top. You see what I mean? Like there's gonna be extra. I could just go push it all the way over so it's tight and top stitch. You know what, guys? We're doing it. Here's to hoping. Is this a stupid thing to do? We'll find out. We'll find out if the gusset fits, right? Beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, beep, boop. Boo. 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 All right, there was extra, but I just pulled it over. That's right, this little dog came home. So now, my friends, we are going to put on the strap. If you weren't here for the last one, the pattern actually calls for vinyl. You can make it out of vinyl, but I just wanted to use webbing. And I've said this before, when a heart wants something, when it comes to your bag, the heart just wants it, right? And my heart wanted webbing. So I'm just finding the center so I can center my handle. Ooh, someone caught that. Summertime. All right, I put some double-sided tape on either side of these so I can fold over the ends because I don't want to leave these ends raw because I don't trust them. That's why. They're like teenagers. They're cute, but I don't trust them. Okay. All right, so I've got them folded over. I'm going to find my little mark here, although I think I'm going to need to come in. I'm going to come in for this one, maybe to about right there. Let me see how that looks. Okay, and I'm just going to press it down with my left hand. I'm going to get it under here. Okay, you could tape it down if you find that it's sliding, but this webbing is like actually kind of easy to hold. And I'm going to go up and down this line here. I'm going to go forward, backward, forward. Oops. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it. I'm just going to try to make sure it's straight. All right. I'm going to go a couple stitches over. 1, 2. And then I'm going to come down and make a rectangle. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go forward, backward, forward. And then I'm going to turn it to finish the rectangle. Bada bing, bada boom. Just so it's nice and attached, and you just want to be careful you're not catching the purple part, you know, the zipper part of the gusset in there. So what we have is one strap right here. I'm gonna take this other one and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Exactamundo. I'm gonna measure and see how far I was. I'm about 1.5 from that side, so I'll do the same over here. Okay. That'll be good. Give you enough to grab onto if you need to. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna sew a rectangle on and I'm gonna go forward, backward, forward, which I know isn't necessarily the cleanest way to do it, but it's the fastest. And then I'm just gonna go forward 2 stitches, turn this baby, forward, backward, forward, and then I'm going to turn it again to finish out my rectangle. You could do an X, you could do rivets, you could do a map of the United States, you could do whatever you want to sew this on there. Although if you did map of a whole country, that would be impressive. Now that I want to see. Just to hold handles on. As my kids would say, that's extra. Mom, you're so extra. That's what they say. Okay. I see a couple things to burn. When I saw Kasaya using lighters back before I was sewing, I thought that was so fun. I'm like, what are you doing with that lighter? It's fun. Okay, what are your comments? Sorry. Okay, no questions. All right, so now we have the gusset. You can see it's much bigger than the other one was. So we're going to find the centers so that we can put it together. What's my favorite machine? I like them both. I would have to say that if I'm using anything with thickness, that I just automatically use the King Max because I don't have any issues with it. Not that the Juki can't do it, but sometimes it just takes a little more finagling, right? I mean, you've seen my lives. I'm figuring out the thread and this and that, and you know, just constantly trying to figure out, okay, what's going wrong with this one. I don't know if that's a machine problem or a me problem. It might be a me problem. But the King Max has definitely been very easy for me to use on projects that have anything thicker. I would say though, the first step of this particular bag went much better on the Juki than it did on this because I was only sewing a thin layer of canvas to the zipper tape. The Juki did much better. This one kind of ate it up a little bit, made it all wavy and crazy. Once again, maybe it's not a machine problem, it might be a me problem. There's probably ways around this, so yeah. I definitely will keep both my machines and maybe do various steps of bags on different ones. Although the King Max still can do the thinner vinyl, but it really did make it more wavy, so who knows? Okay, if you weren't here for the last one, this is my front and back, and I have little markings here. I'm going to sew from marking to marking. All right, what are you guys saying? Margaret, Susan, you have 175 people watching. How do you feel about that? It's fine. I feel a little silly, but everyone's so nice, so it's good. Sometimes I wonder, yeah. I hope that I add to the channel and don't take away from the channel because I know that I'm not an expert. But it is fun to figure things out together. I almost wish everybody could learn how to sew on live videos like I have, because you guys have given me so many tips, and then I go back and try them. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. So I know that I'm very blessed in that way. Okay. We're just clipping our long sides only to start. I did a little funky thing to smooth out the gusset, and it may have gotten me off. And we're about to find out. Here's the good news is, I don't sell my bags. I either use them or give them away for free. So if it's not perfect, it's a little crooked, no one cares. Because it'll probably be my new things I'm going to take on trips to help pack my stuff. Well, thanks, guys. I kind of feel like sometimes Kasaya is the instructional professional and I'm the blooper reels. But you know what? Everyone likes a good blooper reel, right? I mean, my favorite shows, I love the blooper reels. And she is a good sport. I'm like, I'm sewing on your channel. She's like, okay. Sounds good. Oops, wrong seam allowance. Okay, here we go. I'm sewing from mark to mark. Oops, I went a little past the mark. Oh no, it's okay, it wasn't that far. What are you performing at the concert? We have a concert tomorrow for the symphony that I conduct, and I have a concert on Monday for one that I'm playing the French horn in. So Saturday, tomorrow, we're playing, it's a pops concert, so movies and musicals. So we're doing Frozen, Star Wars, Pirates of the Caribbean, Lord of the Rings, Downton Abbey, Fiddler on the Roof, the William Tell Overture, you know, da-da-dun, 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 dun-dun, which starts off, believe it or not, with an incredibly beautiful and slow cello solo. I don't think I ever realized it was part of that same overture. Oh my gosh. I've got this first chair cello player, and he plays like an angel straight from heaven. He's got to be in his 60s, maybe. I think he was a music teacher earlier in his life. He's the sweetest, most tender person I've ever met, and he plays the cello just with full heart. And he plays so well. So he plays this just heart-wrenching solo at the beginning, so beautiful. And then the flute does the famous you know that part. And then that stops, and then the trumpet comes in. Bum, 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 bum. You know that whole thing. It's really cool. And then we are doing, what did I not say? We're doing a medley called Go West, which has famous Western tunes all kind of put together. So eight tunes total. I feel really confident about all of them except for Fiddler on the Roof, but we do have one more quick rehearsal tomorrow afternoon for our tech rehearsal. So I'm hoping that everyone has looked at Fiddler on the Roof and we can have a really good run of it. It'll be fine though. I think the audience will like it no matter what. Okay, so I have my two sides sewn down. Okay, now where these marks are, I'm gonna go make these clips on the other side. Getting goosebumps, thinking about which one. They're all awesome, huh? Musical Road is 2 minutes from my house. Oh, that's by you? I've heard of that road. That's so cool. They've made it so the bumps play a song. I'm making clips in the gusset right where my stitching stops. And we're gonna fold it up so the other side can kind of nest in there nice. And you wanna go to the stitching, but not past it. Which Kasaya always says, like, it's no big deal. But for me, I think, oh no, that's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. All right. So because of this little slit right here, this part is going to go boop. See how it's gonna poke like that? And it's gonna make this part flat. Yeah, I'd love to go over that road. Amber, you're in California, right? I need to try that road. I'm gonna clip these sides up. We'll just do them both while we're at it. Oh, thanks, Rose. I'm super excited about it. I hope my swappy likes it. I think she will. And if not, that's okay. She won't tell me that she doesn't like it, so my feelings won't be hurt. I just need to go buy her favorite candy and go mail that package off today. Probably after this video. Maybe she wants some packing pods too, right? I know where I can get 3 packing pods. Wahaha. So now I have my sides. So that little clip made it so that I can go straight. So I'm gonna go straight across the sides and we're ready to bind. It's really a very simple bag. I say that, but I've been on here for hours, so I'm not sure what's wrong with me. Except I will say, sewing on a video is different than sewing with not on a video. Okay, and when I get to the corners, I like to come up here and just move the extra material out of the way so I don't catch it. Like that. Bada bing. Bada boom. Next side. The road is in Lancaster, California. Okay, I've got to try that one. Kat loved her bag. Was your bag, Kat? I've never seen a picture. I forget what pattern it was. I get to meet Kat in 2 weeks. Kat, I'm excited. I'm gonna do an Alabama sew and a Georgia sew. That's gonna be state number 10, I think. Is that right? 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 and 10. I was bummed because I didn't get stickers when we went to Nevada and Arizona for those sews. I did get a sticker. Here's not my New Mexico sticker because I'm putting all the stickers on my table, but I didn't get Arizona and Nevada. And last night I realized my concert tomorrow is actually in Nevada because we don't live very far from Nevada. It's in Mesquite, Nevada. And so I'm just going to go to a gas station and buy a sticker. And in order to Nevada for my house, you have to go through a small portion of Arizona. And they just built a gas station in Arizona. And so I'm going to leave tomorrow and I'm going to stop at the gas station in the little strip of Arizona to get an Arizona sticker. And then I will stop in Nevada to get the Nevada sticker. Both those things are, 30 minutes from my house. Isn't that funny? So problem solved. But on the rest of my trips, I need to make sure I'm getting stickers. But they have to kind of be the right size. Have you guys seen my little sticker thing yet? So I'm trying to do it in the order. So that's why I didn't put my New Mexico sticker yet. Amber, not yet, because I have a California sticker on here, and I'm thinking of taking it off and replacing it with the one you gave me, actually. Or putting it on my other machine, on the table for my other machine. I have to get these other stickers in order first. It's very serious. Okay, so now I've got this on. I've cut out the corners just to give me a little wiggle room. And I want to show you really quick. She says that if you don't want to do the binding, then in case any of you want to do that method, I was gonna do it until I realized my material is fraying so much that I think I would rather not keep it. I'd rather not keep it raw. So you turn your bag like this, okay? And then you put this inside you put the needle inside it, like this. And you go around and you sew down all the seams. And she was having you do it with a zigzag. So then the other side looks cool and it just has like a zigzag on the front. So if you don't want to bind, you can just sew around like that. But like I said, my material is a little bit fraying. And so I think I would rather just finish it up with binding. Your parents have a place in Mesquite, Nevada. You should tell them, if they're there, they should go to a concert tomorrow. All right. But maybe it's like a home they only go to in the winter. That's Mesquite a lot. It's a very snowbirdy place. All right, I'm gonna clip this on as quickly as I can. I know this bigger bag takes a little more time. We don't have to bind the other side before the video's done. If you'd rather me just do the other side and just show you what they look like completed, we can do that. There are snowbirds, a place in Reno. Oh yeah, Reno's really beautiful. A lot of people do that. Go back and forth, chasing the nice weather. Our neighbors do that. They've got a big RV, and I saw their RV out. So where I live, it's pretty warm. And so at this time of year, a lot of the people who live here hop in their RVs or whatever, and they head up north somewhere. And so our neighborhood, it consists of a large part of older people. And I saw a few RVs out yesterday getting washed and ready. They're getting out of here before it gets too hot. It's pretty cute. They said, peace out, suckers. Yeah, no, I didn't add my California sticker yet, Amber. I'm going to figure out where to put it. I don't know if I answered that. Oh, shoot, my binding just fell. And it rolled all the way down. Oh my heavens. I'm dropping things. Oh, your husband's driven the road. That's so cool. I definitely try that musical road one of these times. I don't know where Lancaster is. Amber, is that north? I can't remember if you were from down south, if you were up north. I know you told me. But I don't remember. I think you had a long drive though, because I think that's why you decided to stay another night. Susan, where do you put your, oh, Pity the Spool? Yeah, so that's that one, and the California sticker I think are gonna go on my Juki table, and the Keymax table is gonna be Sew in the State stickers. So I was trying to figure that out. I've got them waiting to put on. I have to arrange them just right, you know me. Kasaya already put her Pity the Spool on, and it's hilarious. Okay, Pity the Spool. Once again, I'm gonna burn these edges so they don't fray, and because it's fun. Whee! It's so strange. I very rarely don't have anyone in my house. And my husband, I have to tell you what he's doing. He's so nice. My youngest daughter is really into this book series called Wings of Fire. You guys might have seen her little dragon puppets and drawings. She's all about these little dragons from this show. Not from the show, from a book series. And it's like 14 books. And she has read these books, and honestly, she started reading these books back right before we moved. And when we moved, she had some serious anxiety and panic attacks, and it was the thing, I think it was her coping mechanism. She just dove into these books, and it became her whole world, and she just loves them. And a couple weeks ago, she was talking to my husband, and she's in 7th grade now, and she goes, I know I've been liking these books too long, and she goes, I can't help it, I just love them. He goes, no, he goes, well, maybe we should try to meet the author. He goes, I wonder if the author ever does book signings. So he looked online, and the author's name is Tui T. Sutherland, and the series is called Wings of Fire. And he saw that there is, in Texas this weekend, there's a convention for all these authors for books for teens, including Tui T. Sutherland for Wings of Fire. It's a free convention, and all these authors are going to be there. They're going to speak. They're going to sign books, meet the people. And so he decided, they hopped on a cheap Frontier flight where you have to, pay for even the air you breathe. You know what I'm talking about. They hopped on a flight this morning, and they are headed to, oh gosh, somewhere in Texas. Isn't that funny? I don't even remember. A smaller town in Texas. And they are going to this author convention tomorrow where she gets to meet her favorite author of these books. And so she drew a couple dragons for this author to give to her. And she brought a couple of her favorite books for this author to sign. She's so excited. So anyways, they left this morning to the Las Vegas airport to head out to Texas. And my other daughter is at work all day today. And so it is very strange to have absolutely nobody here, because my husband works from home usually, and my senior only goes to school every other day, and on Fridays Gabriella usually comes home halfway through the day. But here we are in a quiet house. It's a little strange. Teddy doesn't mind it. He's still asleep. Oh, he opened his eyes a little bit when I said his name. That's funny. Hi, Mila. Oh, Jasmine, your son just started reading Wings of Fire? I was reading it with her. She wanted me to read it with her back when she was really having lots of anxiety, and I just felt like I should read it so that she could talk about it. You know what I mean? Because everything else was making her anxious. So I started reading it. I've read the first 8 or 9 books, but then she got kind of upset because I'm a fast reader, and she didn't want me to go faster than her, so I stopped for a while. But she says that I can finish the series now. I said, okay, thank you. It's pretty cool. It's a great series. It's interesting. One of Kasaya's kids reads it too, so they all talk about Wings of Fire. But she draws dragons and makes dragon puppets. I'm telling you, every day she's drawing dragons. Like, whatever floats your boat, girl. She keeps saying, do I like it too much? Do I need to stop liking it? I'm like, no, whatever. So there's no such thing as that. Do I like music too much? Nope, I just like it. This is a little bit loose, so I'm taking the clips off and just pulling the binding a little tighter here. Hopefully I didn't catch something weird there. We're about to find out. Once again, I know that there's a fancier way to finish off binding, and I'm sure that it's easy. But I haven't done it yet, and so I'm not going to start it today. How about that? What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Oh, I didn't catch it. I can tell. It's flipping up. This side on the back is coming up, so I'm just going to go boop, boop. Do we like watching you and Saya? So, yes. Oh, that's funny. I get what you're saying. No such thing as too much, right? All right. So I've got my binding on, and I am just going to take my lighter because, once again, there's some spots that are just fraying a little bit. Okay. There's the binding of the first one. All right. Joanna, hi. That's okay that you're late to the party. I'll tell you what we're doing. We're making the packing pods by Spencer Ogg. Here's the small one that I made before the video. Here is the medium. And then right now, under the machine is the large. And we're almost done. And we can nest them all in each other. You guys can see the sizes of them. Anyone who has this pattern or has been wanting to get this pattern, you can see that it's not complicated. There's not even a lining, although I'm sure you could do a lining. Okay. I'm taking my last piece and connecting it. And once again, I'm gonna only sew from mark to mark that I already marked on here. It's the same distance as my seam allowance. And I do that so that the corners can be all beautiful. Right, Teddy? Oh, he moved a little bit, and now he's looking at me. Did you have a good nap, buddy? Is there a separate group for Patreon on Facebook? Stacy, there is. It's called Saya's Nomies. And if you go on the Patreon app, there's a post that tells you what the password to get in is. If you need help with it, just message me or something. Susan, what is your favorite band? Oh gosh, that's an impossible question for me to ask because I'm in a different mood all the time. I honestly can't answer that. I go through phases. Right now I've been listening to a lot of Phil Collins. But I don't know, like impossible. There are so many groups that I would just go crazy to listen to. Kasaya did buy me tickets to go to see Brandi Carlile. You guys know, I went and saw Pink with her. And Brandi Carlile opened for her. And I was like, that's it. She's my new favorite artist. She's incredible. So then I went and listened to her autobiography. And if you listen to the one on audio, she does bonus songs at the end of each chapter. And her autobiography is incredible. But if you haven't heard of Brandi Carlile, not to be confused with Belinda Carlisle, right? Different. Brandi Carlile, wow, she is a musician. I tell you what. But as far as bands go, I mean, some days I listen to NSYNC. Some days I listen to Phil Collins. Some days I listen to Maroon 5. Some days I listen to all country. Some days I listen to Queen. I don't know. Sometimes I listen to movie music. Sometimes I listen to classical. Sometimes I listen to jazz or old, especially old jazz. Um, Especially like swing. Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna do the same thing for the other side. So all I did was I sewed end to end, stopping and starting at the marks right here. Listen to all the music. Okay, what else do you say? You make it look so easy. We're in the year of the dragon right now. That's actually really cool. I need to pick my kiddos up from school. Okay, bye Jasmine, have a great weekend. Phil Collins is fabulous, for sure. What kind of music does Brandy sing? I mean, it's kind of country, but kind of not. Folk. Maybe I would call it folk music. You just need to look it up. You need to listen to her sing, and then you need to go, whoa. She writes all of her own stuff. She plays the guitar like a maniac. But her voice, holy cow. Yeah. She is a musician for sure. Not that I don't have respect for all musicians, you know. A lot of these popular groups, they're fun to listen to. But I'm not blown away by their musicianship because they have a bunch of people who write it and produce it and play the background music, and that's fine. You know, there's a place for that. I'm not knocking that. That's entertainment, right? But the real deal, oof. I love Michael Bublé. I love Josh Groban. My daughter listens to a group called AJR, and I went to a concert with her. They're actually a lot of fun to listen to. They produce all their own stuff, which is a lot of fun. Oh, Amy Winehouse. I bet that's actually really cool. But you know, all the old ones like Bing Crosby and Aretha Franklin and Janis Joplin, Louis Armstrong. Ooh. Good stuff. All right. And of course, Frankie baby, Frank Sinatra. I do sometimes listen to some Frank Sinatra. Garth Brooks. Yes, please. I did a project in my high school jazz band, well, the one when I was teaching, where for the end of the year, their assignment was to, and I kind of gave them, you know, a time period and a genre. They had to find an old classic jazz piece. And they had to listen to it over and over until they could transcribe the melody. And I don't remember how many measures I required, 64 measures, or it was, you know, a big part of it. And they had to listen to it over and over again, and they had to write it out for their instrument, including all the nuances. And it was such a cool project because it helped them, help their ear, it helped develop their ear, but also they grew, their respect for this music grew because they really had to analyze it, and then they had to write it out in a music writing program, and we projected it on the screen, and we had to listen to it and watch it on the screen to see how accurate it was, and then they had to perform it on their instrument. It was the coolest thing. They were freaking out at first because they're like, this is too hard. And I was thinking, you know, this might be too hard. But yeah, you know what, Amber? I used to not like Billie Eilish at first, but I actually really like her. My daughter has gotten me into her. She's very unique. Do I listen to music when I sew alone? I do. I listen to music or podcast. For me, music sometimes is too distracting if I'm needing to concentrate because I get way too into it. Like, music for me is not a background thing. Like, a podcast can be a background thing, but music for me is not background. It becomes, yeah, I get lost in it, and so sometimes I do. When I'm cleaning the house, always music. When I'm sewing, sometimes music, but usually podcasts or something that's speaking, because I don't get lost in it. Like, you know how people say listen to classical music to fall asleep? Classical music gets me going. And I start conducting and analyzing, and so I can't be listening to that to fall asleep. No way. All right, I'm just sewing up the sides. We're almost there, y'all. Same for you, becomes your focus. Oh, audiobooks are great too. I love audiobooks. I agree. I have to see the words too. That's funny. Although I don't always listen to music that has words. Okay, I'm gonna clip this and turn it. I can do the binding after this video, but I want to nest these three together and show these. I can finish that up after. It won't make a difference. Let me just clip the corners, clip some threads, and let's look at these awesome packing pods. We reached out to Spencer Ogg to make sure I could do this video. She was so nice. She said, absolutely. She has a great video. If you buy the pattern, then you have access to it. And Jess from Okla Roots did a video too. And hers are, you know, where she's like the camera zoomed in and she's showing you exactly. I know our videos aren't quite like that, but. All right, let's turn and burn this baby, shall we? Poke those corners out the best we can. Yeah, this is a good size one. I mean, I suspect if you got the pattern, you could just adjust it to whatever size. I don't really know how to do that, I'll be honest. I would just be guessing, but I'm sure y'all know how to do that. People are always like, I'm going to increase it to this %. I'm going to decrease it by this. I'm like, okay, good luck. Just a minute. Huh, he, huh, huh. Bong. It's thin material, so it's not meant to just be super sturdy, right? It's meant to hold a lot. So there's the large. There's the medium. Can you see? And there's the baby. Yeah, I'll do the binding right at the end so that we can do this. So I'm going to show you. I think they nest. I'll bind this last part right after. I know we're like going on 3 hours, almost 3 hours. Oops. These are easy projects, but I'm a slow sewer. So, oh, look at that. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. There you go. Packing pods. What do you guys think? Did you like it? They're cute, huh? Oh, good, Sylvia. I'm glad you were able to join. Well, thanks for hanging out that whole time, guys. Here we go. We've got our 3 packing pods. And according to the promotion videos, you can fit a lot of things in here, and it helps you to fit more in your suitcase and to divide things more. So I will take this on our next Saya Swag trip, and I will report as to whether or not that is true. I bet it is. And if you wanted, like I said, you could use vinyl. It'd be a lot more sturdy. You could use cotton if you want to just roll it up. Someone suggested using ripstop. Use whatever you want. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you all have a great weekend. And yeah, thanks for hanging out and taking over Saya's channel. Oh, you took pictures? Uh-oh, hope I was doing some funny faces the other day when my video was frozen. All right, guys, I'm gonna go mail a package to my swappy. I'm gonna go stuff 500 programs and do some paperwork for Kasaya. Living the dream, everyone. Thanks for hanging out.